Hey everyone, Brian here wishing a great Friday and a wonderful weekend ahead, though I hear we're due for some storms in Chicago over the weekend. I'm recording a message to you today from my from my kitchen table in New Buffalo, Michigan. It's where Roger and I sat for several months after the Diocese of Chicago and city, state, and federal governments all asked people to stop gathering together indoors at the very beginning of the COVID crisis in March 2020. And here I am isolating myself back in New Buffalo because after 2 years I became infected myself about a week ago. It's been fortunate that partly because I'm vaccinated and boosted, and partly because the current variation of COVID is less virulent, although obviously more contagious, that my experience has not been too difficult. My symptoms have been quite mild. Nevertheless, of course, I'm isolating and won't be at Church of Our Savior this Sunday for that reason. I just want to reflect a little bit then about COVID and Church of Our Savior. It's been a tough time. Our community is accustomed to not only getting together on Sundays, but to gather as a community in lots of circumstances, under lots of situations, with different ways for people to gather in different kinds of groups. And that's been very healthy for Church of Our Savior. It's meant that people could come together according to their own interests, needs, and desires for community in the modern Lincoln Park, in the modern urban environment. And that has been so drastically reduced over the last 2 years as all of us, including me right now, take responsibility to try to curb as much infection as possible by not interacting, especially when one knows one is carrying the virus in your system and how easily transmitted it is. So while we've been a very responsible parish in terms of public health, and in terms of keeping our own households as healthy as possible, we've also suffered incredibly by not being able to gather. I mention this because, of course, we all know that at some point in the next few months, the wrecking crews will come in to start to take down our current parish hall and begin the construction of our new community center, which means yet another 2 years without that space where we gather for all sorts of community life. This is going to be really hard on our community, and the vestry is already working hard to find new ways for us to gather outside of that space and to form community. So I hope you'll watch for these opportunities to get together in neighborhoods, in interest groups, etc., as I try to be more present to everybody who can't get to the church, and as we hope to be present to each other. So, of course, there will be church this Sunday. I'm very grateful to Mother Susan Osborne-Mott, who will be the presider at all 3 services, and to Claire Nolan Long, who will be our preacher, and to the 9 o'clock musicians who throughout this period are going to provide the raucous music for 9 o'clock and more traditional music for 10:45 that will keep both these communities vibrant and resonating with the ethos that they've developed over the course of their histories. And of course 7:45 will always be there. So wishing everybody a wonderful weekend and remembering both the optimism we have for the future, but the challenges we have in the present. I hope all of you will stay connected as best you can to everything that Church of Our Savior is offering. Be well, and I hope to see you soon at one of our off off-site COS gatherings or back again next Sunday at Church of Our Savior. Blessings to you all.